Hi, everybody. Thank you.
Your beard's getting better, John.
Can't get much worse.
Actually, you looked extinguished.
Yeah, how about it? Come on, buddy.
Hey, Tony. Tony. Tony.
Yes, sir.
Are those things growing out of your head? Did you have your vaccination, your vaccine shot, or what?
I hear you.
Oh, I thought Tony was working for WEEU. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Well, the guy who played Darth Vader just died, so maybe you could take his place. He's not answering.
What a lovely day outside.
Oh my God.
Is the lake filling up, Bill?
It's starting to. Down around where it goes under Logan, it's filling up.
Yeah, I bet. You need to get a kayak for out there. Go
Oh,
duck.
I like that.
Just remember, that's on the dam list.
Yeah.
And that's just with one M.
Well, a while back, I asked Dave Boucher about if we could dam that up and just have a nice lake back here. And he said, well, I don't have a problem with that, but the people in Lincoln Park may be a little upset when their basements start flooding.
When it fills up.
On the lower end of Harvard Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I got 12 o'clock. So we'll call the meeting of the Fire and Police Committee to order. Melissa, roll call, please.
Okay, Bill Jenks,
I am here.
Tom Mull,
Here.
Tom Boucher,
Here.
Fred Levering, John Woodward,
Here.
and Keith Durr.
Here.
Wonderful. Okay. We'll move on to public comments as they relate to public safety. Do we have any public comments?
Not from me.
Nope.
No.
Any public comments going once, going twice?
I Unless you want to know something about, I mean, we just got out of a COVID infection. And I'll tell you the truth, we don't have any idea where we got it from. We have been super careful. And both myself and my wife, we've been with it for about 3 weeks now. But we're done. So we survived. Just telling everybody, watch yourselves. I have no idea how I got it. Take care.
Okay, are there any other public comments? Okay, if not, we'll move on to the fire department.
Good afternoon. For the month of November, to date, there was 108 responses consisting of 19 fires, 33 medical or motor vehicle accidents, 14 hazardous conditions, 36 alarm activations, 5 smoke detector installations, and 1 fire police detail. Total responses in the borough 65, out of the borough 43. Fire damage so far for the month was $1,300. That was for a vehicle fire. No saved property. Our average turnout for personnel is 5.2. 1 volunteer response so far this month, and a total of 1,382 calls for the year. Moving on to the expanded October report, there was 235 responses system-wide, consisting of 78 medical or motor vehicle accidents, 157 fire calls. We had no fire loss or saved property for the month. We gave aid 43 times. We received aid 45 times. We had 70 overlapping calls. Average dispatch to en route was 1 minute 48 seconds, and dispatch to on scene was 6 minutes and 40 seconds. We gave aid to Laureldale 1, Western Berks Fire Department 17, Leesport 1, Bern Township Greenfields 5, West Reading 6, Muhlenberg Township 6, Cumru Township 4, the City of Reading 2, and Lancaster County Adamstown 1. That's all I have. If anybody has any questions for the reports, I gladly answer them.
Any questions for Colin?
Hey, Colin, John Woodward here. Did you guys ever hear of an app for a phone called What 3 Words?
No.
These 3 guys, I don't know if it's applicable, but these 3 guys from England made a grid all over the earth. There's 57 trillion, like 10 feet by 10 feet spots. And they have 3 words that identify where they're at. And they said in England, it probably applies to you and Tony, but I didn't know if you were going to get off the call. But these hikers were lost in some woods in England, and they called the police, and the police said, well, download this app, it's free. You know, what 3 words? They downloaded it, and then the police knew exactly where they were. And it's helpful when you have, say you have a big building with 10 entrances and exits. It'll tell you right where it is, not that it's at the Berkshire Mall. It'll tell you where it is. So if you ever have, either you guys have a spare 10 minutes, if you want to go look at that, if it doesn't, you know, it's not going to replace Google Earth or, you know, any of the other apps, but might just be another tool in the toolbox. And
What's it
it's,
called?
I just want you to know, John, you are at Outlawing Viewfinder Channel is the Borough Hall.
run that by me again.
The Borough Hall is Outlawing Viewfinder Channel.
Well, I guess you heard of it then.
No, I just pulled it up while we were talking.
Okay, it's what the number 3 words. Just take a look at it when you get a chance, just for 10 minutes for shits and giggles.
I will. It sounds interesting. If the county's doing their jobs right and the cell phones are working, I don't want to get on my soapbox here a little bit, but if in situations like that, on the mountain, like up at the pinnacle and stuff like that, they do try, and as long as you have cell service, they can ping your cell phone and they can give you GPS coordinates. they try and give that. And then obviously on the smartphones, you can actually look at that. Other than that, I mean, we have GPS in our radios. Hopefully it'll soon be activated. They had some issues. They deactivated it so they can keep a track of us as well too, and in the apparatus. So, but yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that. That's interesting.
Hey,
What's it
Melissa, if you
what's
let me
it
share,
called
I can
again?
pull it up real quick.
What's it called again?
Hold on.
My
What three words?
What is it?
What 3 words?
Okay.
Melissa, if you give me permission to share, I can pull it right up here, right for so they can see it.
Sure, I'm trying to find that right now.
Well, so as long as they have a phone, maybe we don't even need to have dogs hunt them down anymore, huh?
There it is right there, gentlemen and ladies. So there's Borough Hall.
Oh,
And if you wanted to go up to, let's see, the fire company, which would be right here, wouldn't it? Yep. That would be the fire company, right? 1200 block.
Yes,
Orbited,
1259.
orbited prank relocating.
Move it over to the left a little is the fire station there.
It's across the street from the ROG orthodontics.
Yeah, right
Oh,
there.
right there, sorry.
behind
Okay, sorry. MOPS deduct reaffirmed.
Well, I don't want to,
That's how it
lengthen
works.
this
That's
meeting
pretty.
for
That's
no
actually
good
pretty
reason,
good.
But we can think about it for till next month.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. I'll have Colin and I look at it, play with it.
Huh.
You can have it back, Melissa.
Colin, just one question for you. The items that were outlined for purchase from the grant money, has everything been purchased?
Purchased, everything was ordered. We're waiting for that to come in. And then as that comes in and we pay the invoices, whether it falls this year yet or next year, at that point, then we can draw down from FEMA, and then that would be redeposited into either the borough's account or the township's account.
Okay, great. Anybody else have anything for Colin? Okay, thanks, Colin. Moving on to Western Berks. Tony.
All right. You have our report with 265 calls of service for October of 2020, bringing our yearly total up to 2334. Breakdown was as follows: ALS 97, BLS 136. There were 24 downgrades. Again, breaking out the Highlands and Country Meadows, there were 30 calls for service to the Highlands and only 17 calls to Country Meadows. Our dispatch to responding time is 1 minute and 14 seconds, and our average scene time is 14:29, well under our 16-minute time frame. Most patients go to Reading Hospital. Narcan treatments were none. COVID is up, but we are testing more patients. Western Berks is also part of the COVID testing team. We have people that will go out and test at nursing homes and at other facilities. Our team's been on 9 missions. We went to the state police barracks and tested the cadet program. We've been down to Chambersburg twice at an area there to test. And we've been all across the state now, about Montgomery, Berks, Luzerne, Philadelphia, Carbon, and one other county. So, we're trying to do our part. That EMS will be tapped probably for vaccines once the vaccine does come out, and Western will be a part of that. So we'll probably be assisting the state with that type of deployment.
When do you think, Tony?
I'm thinking the first batches of Pfizer is sent over have already been sent. I'm thinking probably in the next 4 to 5 weeks, you'll start to see some vaccinations out there with probably mass vaccination maybe in 3 to 6 months. So we'll go from there. For John, we have the materials to activate the hand sanitizer wipes from the county that you were given, the white boxes. You can come to Station 1 or Station 2 in West Reading, and we can do that for you. Our PPE stocks, we did get a large push from the county, so we are well stocked. So I will be trying to talk to our EMA coordinator. I could use a storage unit there, Mr. Boucher, for all of the PPE and all of the materials that we're doing, because we're housing all of the 5-gallon buckets for all of the police, fire, and EMS for our side of the area.
Yeah.
It's only about 100 5-gallon containers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so the Spring Township garage right now is completely packed, along with Station 3 and the trailer. So we're looking for some more space now. Other than that, knock on wood, we have not had any providers tested positive for COVID. There have been other services that have. We continually to decon our station daily with our Clorox Total 360 system. We also have the Aeroclave system, which again, if you need for the borough, please do not hesitate to reach out. We'll gladly bring it down. And again, if there's someone in the public that needs it or wherever, we'll gladly bring down the unit. It's an electrostatic misting machine. You set it, let it fog the area, has a dwell time of about 10 minutes. Once it's done spraying the area, we got the unit on a grant. It was about a $14,000 machine. It kills everything. So if there's any ever need, please feel free to reach out.
Tony, once those boxes are activated, how long do they stay active?
28 days, we were told.
Okay.
So don't activate all of them.
Right.
Interesting. Okay, anything else for Tony? Any other questions? Okay, thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to the police department and Sergeant Phillips. Hi, John.
First on the agenda, we received a handicap parking space request after the last Fire and Police Committee meeting for a Colleen Paulson at 518 Oley Street. She has submitted all the paperwork. She has confirmed that she does have an actual handicap placard. There are no other handicap parking spaces on her block. So we are requesting that one be erected at her location per her request.
Okay, anybody wish to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
A motion, second,
Second.
and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So be it. We'll move that along to council meeting and go from there.
Okay. Some things that just came in today, actually, I wanted to bring to your attention. Our current radios in our vehicles and our portables, we've had them since we've switched from using our own dispatch center to Burke's Radio from the 2012-2013 time. We just got notified today that there is a extension on the current warranties that we have for these radios. And the price to get it now is cheaper than what it will be. What they're saying is it's $109 per year per mobile unit and $80 per year per portable unit. We have a total of 12 mobiles and 23 portables. I checked with RMI. Our current warranty runs out at the end of 2023. We are eligible for a 3-year extension. It only goes out to the 10 years. So what I'm wanting to know is if this is something that you guys may be interested in us pursuing. I started looking at our budgets for what we have for our radio maintenance. This obviously was not budgeted. If we did the full 3 years, that we're eligible for, it would be $99,444. As I said, the radios, they're coming up on since 2013 when we got them. So we're looking at, it would be a 10-year deal from 23 when our current warranty runs out. I asked RMI to explain it to me because they said it was a 10-year warranty that it's eligible for. But when they built it out, the whole system for us, it only started in 2014. So that's when our date started. So we had purchased an original 4 years from that. And then we had 6 on top of that. So we are eligible to get this 3 more. So again, because it wasn't budgeted for, wondering if it is something that you would want us to be considering.
What does a hand unit or a mobile unit cost right now? I know originally they were like $4,000 or $5,000, I think.
Yeah, let me look at the email here that we got today. But
Yeah,
you're
you
correct,
can't-
it's about that.
The mobiles that we currently have, you can't even get any more. You would have to get the 3-band mobile, which is UHF, VHF, and then the 700-800 megahertz. So I would venture to guess they probably be close to $6,000, and a portable would be pretty close to $4,000.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, like, if one of these units goes down, so to speak, is it worth that, or should you just be getting a new one?
Well, it looks like the APX 4000, we currently have the 7000. The 4000 is $2,800. The 7000 is $4,594. So they're saying that's a dual band, but it doesn't say anything about we'd have to get something different. The actual radio itself in the vehicles, I believe that's the $7,408 then.
So $9,044 gets you the 3 years, or is that per year?
No, that gets you all 3 years. We could purchase it out by year, but if you wanted to extend it out to what the limit is going to be, it would be the 3 years at that $9,444.
And that would take you to 2024?
It would, no, that would take us to the end of 2026, 12/31 of 2026.
So will those radios still be used then, Colin or John? I'm just wondering.
I can't say for sure. I'm sure the technology is going to change between now and then for sure.
Yeah, I don't think the county is going to change their system. Now, that's interesting, and I'm going to probably look into that as well too, but I can't remember at either station that we had any issues with radios besides like speaker mics on portables, which are disposable. They're about $350 a piece, but it's definitely something to think of because of the price of what a new radio would cost. And I think that the county's contract also changed, so pricing now would be the full amount, or in 2020 or 2021, the prices will be the full amount. We won't get that county discount anymore either to purchase new.
So that is correct, Colin and John. So the county pricing ends 12/31. So if you want to place orders for new radios, we have 31 days to do new or batteries or wherever to get it under that current pricing. It then goes to the state contract. It doesn't go to the Berks contract. It goes to the state contract. So an APX 6000 battery right now is $95. It's going to go to $130 per se. That's just an example. Or like the current pricing for the APX 7000 mobile radio is $4,500. If we have to upgrade you after 12/1, it's going to go to $7,400 for that APX 7000, 8000. Well, the 7000 is gone. It's an 8000 now.
Yeah.
All right. So, Colin, does this include the radios from the fire department too?
No, they would be different. And actually, we got newer radios. They worked out a deal and got rid of their older radios, and I believe that they got a newer style radio. They got the XE, the Extreme Environment radios, That's what I want to look at too, to see if that affects us or what our warranty is on those portables as well too.
And I had missed the part. You're talking about extending the warranties for all the 6 years, John?
Yeah, well, taking it out to the end
Yeah.
of 2026, that's
That's
what
what
it's going to cost us. Our current warranty ends at the end of 2023. You know, with technology, things break down. We haven't had any major issues with our radios that I know of, except for one with an open mic, which I'm not sure was the actual radio itself. I think that had some other issues involved there. But with technology the way it is and the expense of these, that's why I was wondering if you guys would be interested in looking into paying that, because it's only good till the end of this year. We'd have to start that process now to get the warranties extended.
We just did all of ours at Western
Yeah.
to the max.
Well, they need to know by the end of this year.
Yeah, that's when the prices are going to go up, like with everything, like with the cost of all the equipment changing at the end of the year or beginning of the new year. These prices for if you want to get the extended warranty are going to be higher next year.
Seems like the question you got to ask is, are you going to come in 2 years and say we need all new radios, or if you think these are going to be good for the next 5 years or 6 years?
Well, I think like Colin said, I don't think the county's changing their system, so these should work. You know, it's just going to depend upon how they last. You know, when we got these radios, when we did, I mean, we've had them now since then, so they've been, like I said, pretty good. Prior to these radios, we had other Motorola type versions that lasted pretty well, but we had to switch from those because they weren't able to be used on the new system when the county switched over.
It just seems like maybe we should do it. I guess Tom, the question is going to be your other project you're working on, if that's going to interact with this or not. If not, then I would be in favor of moving to the finance committee and seeing if we can just throw it into the budget.
Yep,
We have finance committee meeting on Thursday.
I'm with you on that. Tom?
Yeah, that's we should put that to finance. You know, it's too much to give up if this thing doesn't pan out.
So, Melissa, can you add that to the agenda for the finance committee meeting to discuss the? So, just to be clear, John, the 9,044, then that gets us an additional 3 years, so it takes us to 2026.
That is correct.
And the warranty is a pretty inclusive warranty in terms of, you know, replacement, damage, whatever.
Yeah, the warranty we have, as it was explained to me, we even have, if one of our radios goes down, they provide a loaner radio to us. We've had that with our start of our new officer. We had to get a radio switched over to her. So until that happened, they provided us a loaner radio so that she could have a radio while she's out on the street. So yes, it's.
Yeah, I mean, unless somebody objects, I think the finance committee should review it, but probably add it to the budget.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, let's move that on to finance then.
Might I make a suggestion, Mr. Jenks, that you check with Colin to make sure you get all of the service departments in there that have those radios?
That's what I was going to say. You know, Colin, is this something? Can we get one package for all radios in the borough, or does this have to be separate contracts?
I'd imagine you could, because the borough basically purchased all the radios. I just have to get a definitive list of what the fire department actually has, mobile-wise. I know mobile-wise, but portable-wise, and then I can get you a number for that.
Yeah, if there's a way of getting, when's the warranty come up for the fire department? Is that at the end of this year too?
Everything goes up at the end of the year. 12/31 is for all the radios for the whole county.
Yeah.
Colin, maybe if you can get some, some numbers together that can be also presented at finance on Thursday, that'd be great. We can do this, in one shot.
Yeah, I'll get that to you this afternoon, the number of radios that we would have at the fire.
And then what it would cost to tack that on to the 9944.
Because if it has to be done before the end of the year, we should really vote on it at finance and then move it to Borough Council next week so we can get it before the end of the year.
Correct.
John, you want to fill in Pat Brandenburg when he comes back tomorrow?
Yeah, I already emailed him about it today, but yes, I'll talk to him tomorrow about it.
Let him coordinate the differences with these different departments with maintenance and getting that ready for finance then.
Okay.
Okay,
John,
great.
I actually started an email to Pat and you, so I'll just send it with all the information included.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Tony, I don't understand your question.
Will that include some of the radios that we got through Wyomissing also? If we had the extended warranty? Can I tack it on to you guys? Come on!
You're not funny, Tony.
I think that's directly related. I mean, you guys bought some of our radios too, so. Hey, I gotta try.
I think there's an electric charge.
You get A for effort.
I mean, you guys bought some of our radios too, so.
Okay, John, what else you got?
Just to let you guys know, on 11/23, we investigated a non-reportable crash involving one of our borough crew vehicles. It was a leaf picker. He was going around a vehicle that was parked on Parkside Drive North, and the tire of the leaf picker hit the tire of the parked car. There wasn't really any damage, just because I said the tires hit each other, but just so you're aware, our agency investigated it. The report is done. I'll be passing that on to Pat tomorrow when he gets in.
Okay. All righty. What else do you have, John?
Do you want to talk about the camera, Bill, now?
No.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in executive.
Okay, then I have nothing else.
Okay.
John Woodward here. How, there's not allegedly, there's a pit bull around the borough that's been bitten 3 dogs and almost ripped an ear off one of them. And is the county in charge of that, or?
No, we are. We're investigating that. We're handling that. We've spoken with that dog owner. We know about the history of the dog. At least one other time it bit another dog. And at that time, that owner didn't want anything done, but it was documented here. On this one, we've talked to the owner. We're going to be issuing a citation to that owner for an aggressive dog. And that's what it is. It's an aggressive dog. I've been in contact with the actual dog warden for the county. She was away. She's supposed to be back today. She hasn't called me back yet, but I want to make sure that we cite correctly. So that citation is coming.
We just don't want that dog attacking a kid or something, or
a
person.
Yep.
I have an objection under the Sunshine Act, Mr. President. Talking about cameras in executive meeting is not on the list of approved subjects for executive meetings. So unless you guys are trying to keep this from the public, because this is how it looks like. So I think such discussions need to be in the public meeting.
It's a contract.
Executive is very restricted to only a handful of reasons, and cameras are not there.
It's a contractual issue, sir. So it is legitimate.
No, it's not contractual issue. It's about a camera.
Order, sir. John, while we're here, what can we do with, if anything, with all the vagrants that we got over at Wawa, and the mall, or not the mall, but Berkshire, over by Redner's and so forth. It seems you guys are there all the time chasing them away.
So it's a very tricky situation in that people have a constitutional rights to be places and out and about. We tend to deal with it, each incident as it comes in. as far as you mentioned Wawa, when they call us, we try to handle it at that time. We're trying to get Wawa to cooperate with us with issuing actual bans to these people, so that if they then come on property, we could then cite if need be for defiant trespass, because they've been notified that they're not allowed on the property. As far as, you know, at the other places, like Walmart, you mentioned the Berkshire Square lot, a lot of that has to come from the property owners, because it's private property, whether they want them on their property or not. That's where we have the most teeth to be able to do something, but like I said, it has to come from the property owner. As far as somebody sitting on a bench and things like that, and there's not a whole lot legally that we can do as things are right now, because they're not violating any laws, just sitting there on a bench.
Yeah, I'm just more concerned about the ones that are, you know, panhandling and harassing the patrons.
Right. And like I said, those are the ones we're trying to deal with as they come in, and trying to get these stores to cooperate and issue bans to these people is what we're trying to get them to at this point.
Well, if there's anything we can do as council to help these people, you know, issue these bans, you know, let us know and we'll help in every way we can. But, you know, just seems to be getting worse.
Yeah.
It'll probably get worse as the temperature drops too. But, you know, I've been down to Wawa's, you know, a number of times, and almost every time I've been in there, somebody has been in there who looks and fits that kind of description and activity. And the store does not really do anything, except I've seen them give them coffee and a donut or something. And so I don't know that that's really discouraging those people. It seems to be encouraging them. And I don't know what their policy is there, but maybe it's just the manager on duty or something. I don't know, John, but that's just an observation I have. And I don't know, you know, you have more details of it, but it didn't look like they were like trying to discourage it. It looked like they were encouraging it, if nothing else.
Yeah, I've seen that kind of thing occur too. People trying to be nice and help people that are down on their luck, and
I know.
you know, so, but that's why we're trying to get them to, when it gets bad, they call. It's usually a customer will complain to them, and then they'll go out and tell the person to leave, or call us then if they're refusing to leave.
Okay. All right.
Do these people have identification?
Some, not always.
Hey, John, on a positive note, on Friday, whoever the officer was that was parked over at the Red Maintenance Barn in the park area, my wife, daughter, and 2-year-old granddaughter were walking over there, and she was afraid of the police car, and she ended up engaging with him, and he turned the lights on for her and put her at ease, and she was thrilled when she got back to our house. So they didn't get his name, but whoever it was, there's just something to be said for the personal touch that goes on with the Wyomissing Police Department, as a side note. But whoever that was, I think it was around lunchtime on Friday.
All right, I'll pass it on. Thank you.
That's great.
Mr. Jenks, I have pulled out the reasons for executive meetings, and contracts and contractual, whatever you mentioned, is also not on the list. So can we please clarify what this is about? On the record.
There's nothing to say right now. It's
just because you don't want to say it in public. And that is why this bloody law is there, because these things need to be discussed in public, not behind closed doors.
Well, I'm gonna.
Can we get this on the record, what this discussion is about?
Table it.
Yeah, it's just about somebody who may want to be donating something to us.
And why is that a secret?
Because they don't want to be identified.
And why does it matter? We don't have to identify. We can discuss the matter and call it subject A and subject B, and that's that.
It needs not be discussed publicly at this time. That's all, Mr. Jady. Okay, at this
You
time,
want to make this public, that's what it is, and this is illegal, but you like to break the law. Let's put this on the record that you refuse to discuss in the public meeting the subject.
at this
Okay,
particular,
that is a matter of Right to Know Act,
yeah,
and
well,
that should be able, we should be able to have that information.
when it becomes,
And when will that be?
well, as soon as we can get on with our executive session, sir, but you're,
You're not in executive session, sir.
okay, at this time, we're going to adjourn into executive session to discuss personnel and contractual issues. And, do you
And I
wish,
hope only the people who have to be in
do you
executive
wish to be
sessions.
Stop
notified?
interrupting him.
Do you wish to be notified, yes or no, when we return?
Of course I do.
Fine. Let's move into executive session.
Damn. Bullshit.
Okay, do we have everyone back on or not quite?
I don't know.
Looks like we're missing Fred. Oh, they're on.
Bill.
They're coming on now.
Yeah, Bill, do we,
Yeah.
do we need to discuss anything else about the police issue in executive?
No.
Save it for personnel.
Yes.
Okay, we will re-adjourn the public portion of the committee meeting. We did go into executive session to discuss personnel issue and to also discuss an anonymous contribution by a borough resident to a piece of crime-fighting equipment for the police department. And that is what was discussed. Does anybody else have anything they wish to bring before the public forum of the committee? If not, we stand adjourned.
So no action is taken, right?
Excuse me, sir?
No action is taken. You
On
didn't have
what?
to vote on anything with that camera.
No, it was discussion only.
Okay.
And Mr. Jadik, as I just said, this was a resident who wishes to make a contribution to the police department in a crime-fighting equipment. And at this time, it was just to discuss that. No vote was taken.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? Okay, if not, we stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.